The overall goal in a home landscape is to match up the plant's nutrient needs with the nutrients that are available in the soil or the potting media. I've got a few different products that I would like to show from the organic versus the inorganic side of things. We're going to talk about the different types of formulations and release rates. So starting with something like a lawn and garden fertilizer, a 10-10-10, which is 10% nitrogen, 10% phosphorus, 10% potassium. It's a very inexpensive product, easy to acquire and easy to apply. If you take something like a 10-10-10, it will always be in some type of pelletized form. And what's interesting about a 10-10-10 is it's immediately available into the soil, which ultimately would be available to the plant. So if I'm going to put some 10-10-10 in a container of water here, and I want to stir it up to show its solubility. As I start to stir, this will cloud up, meaning that it is almost immediately available in the soil and certainly be available in the soil solution to be taken up by the plant roots. And I can continue to stir this for a little bit longer, but it is starting to dissolve. One thing you'll notice about 10-10-10 when it's applied to a landscape situation is where the pellets actually hit the ground, they will start to dissolve. You'll see a little bit of a moist circle right around the pellet. And so again, that shows its immediate solubility. So this is a control release fertilizer. This happens to be made by Osmocote. The percentage is 14-14-14, a little bit different than the 10-10-10 obviously, but it has a control release, or it has a polymer coat that regulates the release of this nutrient. So if you take the product and put it in the clear water and stir it up, it will not immediately become cloudy. In fact, it takes quite a few hours before. It doesn't matter how long I stir, it doesn't matter the temperature of the water, it just will take a long time before it actually dissolves. What that means in the landscape is that a control release fertilizer will take sometimes a week and maybe up to 2 weeks before it starts to release any kind of nutrients. The other difference between it and the 10-10-10, this 10-10-10 maybe lasts for 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. This may last for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, depending on the actual coating that's around the fertilizer prills. All right, here's a product. This is made by Miracle Grow. The percentage is, or the analysis is 24-8-16. It is a water-soluble product. So when you actually take it out of the container, it's a blue granule, and the granule is immediately soluble in water. And this is designed to be put into some type of application. Maybe it's some type of watering can, or in this case, it could be put into some type of dial and spray container here. These can be set at different release rates. So you put the product in here, fill it up with water, you hook this up to a water hose, and you can actually spray over your vegetables, over your turf, over your trees and shrubs, depending on your objective. This is a product called a fertilizer spike. The analysis is 16-4-4. This is a product that can be used, it's fairly popular because of its convenience. It can be put in around trees that are already established or shrubs that are already established, but some people will actually put these in planting holes when they're actually installing a plant. It's fairly expensive for the analysis that it actually provides, or the nutrients that are actually provided there. Again, it's more of a kind of a convenience thing. Now, if you think about the way a plant grows, we're trying to get roots to develop in an even span or an even spread all the way around the plant. If you put this spike in one area, the plant's roots, once they find that spike or once they grow to that spike, they will proliferate, and so you will get patches of extra growth in that area. But the problem is you're not encouraging root growth all the way around the plant. So when a plant experiences something like drought, lack of water, excessive amounts of heat, it may not have the complete root system necessary to endure that period of time. So soil pH regulates the overall availability of nutrients. A couple different ways that we can adjust soil pH would be lime to raise the pH, or some type of sulfur product to lower the pH. Lime can be purchased in a pelletized form. This is a granular lawn lime. This is about $5 to $6 a bag. It's fairly dustless, so when you actually apply it, it's not that you're not going to get it all over you. It has kind of a sweet smell to it that you'll recognize if you apply lime on a regular basis. There's a liquid lime that you can add, so you could put it in some type of watering can and apply it to individual plants instead of an overall area. When choosing a nutrient source, you have a synthetic option, or you may have a natural or organic option. In this case, there are a couple different products that we can look at. This is a plant tone product. It is an organic, about $8 for this bag of 4 pounds. It is analysis of 5-3-3, so 5% nitrogen, 3% phosphorus, 3% potassium. One thing to think about with the organic, if you compare this to a 10-10-10 or a 14-14, like we've discussed before, you're going to have to add much more of this product to really get the nutrients available, or nutrients that are needed. However, this organic material can oftentimes be taken up a little bit quicker by the plant because it is in a more readily available form. Maybe it's in a nitrate form versus ammonium form, so it doesn't have to be broken down. It's a little bit easier on the soil ecology. So the microbes and all of those fungi and bacteria that we're trying to encourage in the soil, the plant tone or this organic product can be a beneficial addition. You can get the liquid formulation. This is a fertilizer. It's a 4-3-3. So most of your organic products are going to be much lower in the nutrient content. Here's a product called Black Cow. You can buy this in a 50-pound bag, but what you'll notice is the analysis is 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. Now it is composted cow manure, so it will have a little bit of a smell to it, but it's not going to be, highly offensive. You can stick your hands in it. You can actually work with it pretty well. In your specific area, you may have some type of byproduct from a manufacturing facility or a byproduct from an agricultural area or an agricultural operation. Here's an example of a byproduct. This is actually a composted swine manure or composted swine waste. The pH on this is 5.8 and it has an analysis of 375, so it's higher in phosphorus than nitrogen and potassium, but it is it's a complete fertilizer, so you're getting a little bit of everything. Now this material has a little bit of a smell to it, but it's not not highly offensive. It's not like you would typically get if you drove right past the hog farm or what have you, but a very good product that can be used as an organic amendment. Another product, this is composted yard waste from the city of Raleigh. The pH on this is a little bit over 7, so it is a neutral pH. It will have a little bit of effect on your overall soil pH if added over time. In fact, we've seen that in the J.C. Ralston Arboretum, where this product has been added to planting beds for many years, and the pH of those plant beds are 6, 6.5, 7, without any kind of addition of lime. So the ultimate nutrient availability oftentimes shows up as having available phosphorus and available potassium. So just the addition of this organic amendment to the soil has really affected our plant beds positively. So the longevity of these different options here between the inorganic or the synthetic fertilizers and the organic fertilizers can vary based upon their formulation. A product like 10-10-10 or a farm grade fertilizer like a 6-12-12 or something will be available for 2 weeks to up to a month, and then you would have to apply that again to give the nutrients that the plant needs. Versus something like this control release, depending on its formulation, may last for a couple months or 6 months or what have you. If you look at the organic options, thinking about how long is it going to last, well, with the organic option, we're really not trying to add a whole lot of nutrients. We're really trying to build the soil ecology, and we may actually use a combination of synthetic and organic options to alleviate maybe a deficiency. So if maybe there's a phosphorus deficiency, we can find an organic product that's really high in phosphorus and just overcome that deficiency. Or if we're trying to build the overall soil ecology and raise the nutrient levels, again, we might use some type of organic amendment, and then we may actually add something like Miracle Grow that has a more complete package of nutrients, the N, P, and K on all of the micronutrients. So you can choose one or the other, or you can use a little bit of both. Let's talk about some of the contents here. If you compare Triple 10 or Miracle Grow, it's a synthetic or man-made, usually petroleum-based product, versus something like this Plant Tone. Let me read what it is derived from: hydrolyzed feather meal, pasteurized poultry manure, bone meal, alfalfa meal, green sand, sulfate of potash, sulfate of potash magnesia, a couple different types of organic products here. And again, it varies as far as what you're trying to accomplish. If you're really trying to green something up like a vegetable, you may not want to choose an organic amendment to get a quick fix or a quick reaction. You may actually go with something like a liquid feed or a liquid application of Miracle-Gro to really get that plant to take up the nutrients. So it really depends on your plants as well. If you're choosing for planting beds, if you have the option to amend the entire planting bed, an organic amendment will always benefit that in the short term and the long term. If you're trying to green up turf grass or whatever in a very quick manner, maybe you're using some type of 10-10-10 or a quick release that's going to give you a reaction within a few weeks to really make a difference.